Hello everyone and welcome back to Tokyo Dark. I am your... Oh, yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, we're gonna have to pump this down a little. So I think last episode was probably a little loud from a music standpoint. Getting this audio bouncing right is a pain in my butt, because there's sometimes it will just be silent. But anyways, Mai, is going to go see her big brother Takashi, and we're going to help extort information out of him. Mai, what are you doing here? Did she make you come? It's not like that, Takashi. I come on my own time. I mean, it was my idea. I asked her to come talk with you, but you sent her away. This woman almost got you killed. You expect me to cooperate with her? Surely, if you need to talk to me, you can come talk to me. Come yourself. My sister doesn't need to be involved. No. If I came, you just evade all my questions like you always do. I'm not a sword. Stop trying to evade me. Besides, there's something I need you to see. See what? What are you talking about? Where did you get that? Put it away. So, you do know what it is. I knew you were hiding something from me. That's not true. I wasn't hiding it. It's not something you ever need to know about. Besides, why is she carrying it around in the first place? Wait, don't change the subject. This isn't about Ito. Mai, I understand you're upset with me, but we need to talk about this at another time. Furthermore, that mask has nothing to do with you. You're wrong. Back in April, when Mai was held at knife point by another girl, it was this mask she was after. A mask your family is connected to. Looking for it. I suppose I've been a fool to think that I can keep the truth of our family's past away from you. The past? Does this have something to do with Mom and Dad? Yes, and so much more. I first saw that mask when I was a child, before you were born. The truth is, it belonged to a cult named the Kamenkai, of which our parents were members. A cult? You're kidding. How'd your parents get mixed up in that? I know how it sounds. I find it hard to believe myself. They were a group led by a guru named Tokimasa, who promised a simpler life away from the hypocrisy of the falseness of city life. Both her parents had master's degrees, and my mother was on her way into earning her PhD. That's a philosophy of darkness, if you haven't, ever looked into one. They chose to give up their lives and their careers to follow some mystic and live on a compound instead. The Kamenkai were one of many such groups back then. Yeah, Tokyo's had a lot of death cults in the past. So has America, but don't worry about it. I was a child and didn't understand, but thinking about how our parents were deceived, what they put me and Mai through, it's unforgivable. The mask was on the compound, but for what purposes or what they believed it could do, I don't know. Do you think there are any members of the Kamenkai left who'd know? No, you see, there are no surviving. Oh, it is a death cult. They died, all of them, including our parents. I'm sorry, I don't remember much about it. I was like 5. One night, Grandma came into the room we were sleeping in and said we had to go. Said that the Kool-Aid was being spiked at a dangerous rate, and not with LSD like usual. The compound was in the woods, so it was dark and I could barely see, but she kept charging forward with Mai in her arms and me dragging behind. When we were back in Tokyo several days later, Grandma told me that our parents were dead. She didn't seem sad. It was as if she was expecting it. Yeah, that's usually the one of like 2 ways that cults end. Well, 3 ways. 1, everyone dies. 2, like the federal government like busts you up for like child labor. or like not taking care of the kids, DCS usually, or 3, like people just kind of like phase out, sometimes because the leader died, sometimes because like there's just, you know, things just, the lies just don't get woven in completely. The government censored much of what was happening, so I was never able to learn how they died. Me and Grandma didn't speak of it, ignoring it as if my childhood and everything that happened in those woods was all a bad dream. If it weren't for her, we'd probably be dead with our parents, but ignoring it couldn't erase the anger I felt towards them. I wonder if they even cared what might happen to us. As a high schooler, I spent more time trying to find out about the common kind than I did studying. It's okay. Didn't spend a lot of time studying myself, Takashi. I thought that if I could understand why my parents so willingly gave up their lives and abandoned us, I'd stop feeling so betrayed. But I was wrong. Nothing I found gave me any peace. Mom and Dad died as part of some cult? I don't believe it. It's true. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner. I guess that hiding it from you, I was able to hide away my feelings as well. I think for Grandma it was painful too. Too painful to talk about. I believe she took possession of the shrine in order to live a simpler life. Also, do you know how much money shrines make? Those things are tax exempt, baby. I'm kidding, I don't know anything about shrine tax exemptions. Now, if it was an American church, no, we're not going to talk about that. We had to keep it secret. There's no way we could live a normal life with the stigma of the common kind attached to us. So I became a secret sword trainer, and then I got really popular. But Kendo gave me purpose of my life, because then I was able to stab my problems away. But Grandma made a choice. She always seemed to carry the guilt with her. She started going out at night, babbling about how she was looking for Mom, going into the dark. Then she would come with a rotten stink on her clothes. I didn't want to talk to her because, you know, I thought she was digging into trash bins full of dead fish, but I told the police. They found her in the sewers, holding a mask. Same one that we all have right now. I was shocked when they gave it to me. I hadn't seen it for so long, and all the unpleasant memories from my past came flooding back. Back to the past. That was when I decided to leave Kamakura. It was the only way I could move on with my life. That doesn't account for how the mask ended up with your grandmother in the first place. I don't know how she got it. It seemingly appeared out of thin air. I don't know. You ever heard of the idea of conservation of mass? Well, it's bullshit. I left the mask with her. I didn't like it. It looks creepy. Wait, Grandma was looking for Mom in the sewers? I don't remember any of this. We didn't tell you about that either. I mean, you were at school. Grandma was being weird. It's fine. The last thing I needed you to do is wondering why Grandma smells of dead fish and hangs out at night. That's how rumors get started. Bye. We parted ways without ever speaking of it, and she was much better by the time you returned. Detective, what exactly is it that you're looking for? Surely our family's history isn't of use to you. I assume you've heard about what happened to my partner? This mask was there, again, when he died. It's more than an ornament. I need to know where it came from. If that's true, then I want to help. Your partner, he seemed like a nice person. He was an amazing person, Mai. He even did tongue stuff with me. No, Mai, you've helped plenty. I have to do this on my own. Ito's right. I apologize for not telling you all this sooner, but you can't be involved with something so dangerous. I already thought I'd lost you that day at the shrine. I wouldn't forgive myself if something happened to you now. ... Alright, thank you for finally telling me the truth, Takashi. I'll head back now. I hope you still remember that I'm your sister. I may not remember the same things you do, but we're still family. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for your help, Mai. You're right, Mai. I'll come visit you soon. But not Grandma. She's still smells of rotting fish. After a while, it kind of clings to you. No doubt taking that mask has taken its toll on you. Even in the brief time I was in contact with it, I felt an immense darkness behind it. I had such strange dreams that I never dreamed of on my own. See, that's the thing about dreams. It's really peering into the subconscious. Have you ever heard of iceberg theory of like your conscious awareness? Don't worry, we'll get into that later. Just, you know, take like a Psychology 100 level class. It'll usually tell you. There's always an unusual air about it that I couldn't stand to be around. Maybe lying to Mike and maybe makes me a hypocrite. All I know is I don't want her getting hurt. But like you said, I don't believe that mask is simply wooden paint. Though I doubt anyone else would believe us. No one ever did, except for one man. On the street, there's an old tea shop. Perhaps you saw it on the way in? Yeah, I did. An old historian named Yasuhisa is there occasionally. He was the only one who ever acknowledged what I said about the mask is truth. If you're looking for information on the mask, he may be the best person to ask. Never pursued the topic with him, mostly because I don't want to talk about that mask. Sometimes it, you know, just haunts me. His mind is a vault of valuable information, though, so crack on out of him. Hopefully he can shed some light on what it really is. I hope so, but please, detective, be careful. Okay, well, we've got another lead. Let me just take a sip of this. Really burns the throat. Much like our sweet dear Detective Ito, I'm drinking some whiskey. Oh, here it is. Let's enter the tea shop. I know it said it was closed last time, but we're entering anyways. We're breaking and entering. This is a man with a face. Welcome. Come in. Sit a while. Do sit down. No need to be so formal and sit there like a statue. How can I help you? Stay a while. Listen. Diablo's on his way. Are you Yasuhisa? Takashi told me to come speak with you. Oh, and how is Mr. Kawana? Still prickly as ever, I suppose. The only thing prickly, more prickly about him than his personality is his sword. I've always found him to be wise beyond his years, though perhaps not by choice. I digress. My apologies. It's the quirks that come with old age, you know. What does Mr. Kawana think I can help you with? I'm looking into a few things related to the Kamenkai. The group his family got mixed up in. Ah, a more difficult answer than you might expect. You see, there are only two groups that share that name. First, as you know, there's the religious group, formed by the Guru Tokimasa, and the second is an ancient order, over 1,000 years old. What's that you're holding? The way that she's holding it makes it look like she's holding it in front of her face while she's talking to Yasuhisa. Because it's blocking the rest of, like, the view. Whatever. I know it's just one, like, kind of general animation and picture that they use for all of this, but still. I was told that it's related to the Kamenkai, or the new one, and that you could tell me about it? Ah, that explains many things, child. The far-off look in your eyes, for one. I imagine you have many, many questions. Masks are interesting, are they not? They are meant to be a disguise, and yet a mask cannot lie or contort itself to hide the truth. Oh god, are we going into Jungian philosophy, boys? Jungian psychology, even? Who knows? In that sense, it is the mask that is more truthful than the human face we hide underneath them. Well, you could say that we all put up masks, and that, you know, each one is actually a kind of proof of who we are, like a persona of, like, you know, just kind of showing off that we are, in fact, a, you know, real human being, but made of several different parts, and that our true self is shown in each one, but not, like, it's not full picture, like a jigsaw puzzle, but, anyways. I wonder how you came to be in the possession of an object with such a dark history. I think it might be related to a missing person. I did not punch a cop out for it, if that's what you're asking. Don't even know why you'd ask such a preposterous question. I'm a private detective, yeah. I don't work with the police. Also, if anyone said I came here, just lie to them, please. I don't know anything about it, though. Ah, but that itself is the essence of history, layers upon layers of personal connections that are continuously peeled back to the root. Relics like the one you hold often take unusual routes to where they end up. Relic? If it's from the Kamenkai cult from the 90s, then I'd hardly call it a relic. Misguided and deceptive as he was, Tokimasa was no fool. In order to gain new followers, he believed his cult needed to give his cult historical legitimacy. He collected obscure artifacts and gave them new meanings that he could control in order to manipulate his followers. The mask was what he chose, along with the name of the group that created it. Interesting, isn't it? Yeah, I guess so. Only I guess I was hoping you could tell me some other things about it. For instance, like why? Now that I'm about to say it out loud, it sounds silly. I'm sorry I bothered you. Don't be silly. You're silly. You wonder, for example, why holding the mask seems to take you to another place. Or perhaps why you can see visions that don't seem real. Why you feel a strong will exerting itself on you. Oh yes, I know all about those things too. How could you know about that? When Tokimasa was in possession of it, he believed it showed him a path to the realm of the gods. He wrote extensively on the subject. Though unlike most, I don't discount such phenomenon as ravings of a madman when the phenomena repeats itself. Do you look into the inky blackness and see familiar shapes in the shadows? Not shadows. I see and hear people who are supposed to be dead. I find things I could not possibly have found otherwise. Most interesting. Tell me, detective. Oh, apologies. Do you mind if I call you that? I don't remember telling you I was a detective. Ha! Ha ha ha! My mistake. You must forgive me, a slip of the tongue. I know more than I'm saying. I believe it was the way you carried yourself determined investigators such as yourselves have such a purpose. In their mannerisms, you see. You do seem determined to get to the bottom of whatever it is you're chasing. I don't like to cut at this man's jib. He's given me some weird feelings. The last time we met someone who knew a hell of a lot more than they were supposed to, he was almost definitely some sort of supernatural being. I'm talking, of course, of the Collector. But one, let's be glad I'm not going into a weird Cajun accent. But two, there's more to this guy. Tell me, does me telling you that your experiences are not an illusion provide you any level of comfort? I'm not sure, but I do feel something. Maybe hope? It's like I finally got a foothold on solid ground. Ah, yes. Knowledge is a light in dark places, is it not? To think of a relic of such import would end up with a detective. Do you mind if I ask you something? Which do you believe? Are our lives controlled by fate, pre-measured threads that determine our deeds, our wishes, and our ends, the minute we come into existence? Or conversely, is our thread subject to chaos inherent in our universe instead? Does it change according to our deeds and that which happens to us seemingly by accident? Do you believe it is fate or chance that decides which threads of life are cut short and which are followed? This is a very kind of philosophical idea. The idea of like kind of determinism of fate versus like, you know, the idea of agency and free will. I've always been someone who's kind of believed in agency and free will. It's a much more Western idea or belief system. People are much cooler with fate in, you know, certain other places. Though that being said, the idea of like a god having a plan for us all is certainly the idea of fate. But I've always believed that even if there is a plan, since I can't observe it, then it may as well be chance. Yes, of course. Maybe you feel your life has been somewhat out of your control as of late. Control, huh? To be honest, I don't feel like I've had much of that since the mask came to me. You said that the mask was made by the old Common Kai. Why? Confusing me can't be the purpose it was made for. Ah, yes, a more complicated answer than you might have wished for. Indeed, it should come to no surprise that the creation of such a mysterious object is equally enigmatic. Great. Enigmas, boys. Perhaps you could do me a favor. Don't worry, it is in relation to this very topic. An important book has gone missing from my shop. Oh god, he's swinging Sean Connery before our eyes. If you could retrieve it for me, I feel it could shine a great deal of light on the subject. What kind of book? A book of the missing variety. I'm sorry, I jest. It concerns the mask bearer. The mask bearer? Huh. That's, me, right? Although you carry it, that does not make you its bearer. All will become clear when the book is returned to me. Sounds easy enough. Where can I start looking? Oh, you needn't go far. The man who has it is right outside this building. In fact, as I said, it's not much of an errand, but I, of course, can't leave my shop. Because you're a ghost? Or because you're lazy? He's right outside? This won't take long. Oh, this won't take long. I'll be right back. Is this you? I had one of your takoyaki. It was delicious. But I do need that mask back. The old tea shop next door. Isn't that place closed down? Closed? That can't be right. What else do you know about it? Pure conjecture on this one, but I think it might be owned by the kendo instructor from the dojo down the street, on account of him being the only one I ever see in there. You might not believe me, but I swear I saw him in there chatting away to himself. Possibly. He's a little nuts. Oh god. It is another ghost. Or spirit, or god. I don't know. This is Japanese, so there's probably multiple gods like in the story that we had with Grandma. Then again, it might be some super awesome kendo meditation technique. Aw man, why didn't I think of that before? Next time I oughta ask him for some pointers instead of spying on him, eh? Word through the grapevine is that he's a regional champion or something like that. Has trained some of the best. A lot of cops train with him too. Maybe he's not so crazy after all. If it's crazy and it works, is it really crazy? Yes, but I have a crazy question for you. I know you said it was closed, but do you know anything about a book taken from there, maybe recently? I was led to believe you would. Jeez, ooh, look at the takoyaki. Go on. Like I said, the place has been empty for years, but you know, I spent a lot of time outside, and half the time the door's wide open, and so one day, a few months back, I decided to take a look around. Nothing suspicious or nothing, but I was just curious. Curiosity killed the cat, right? Anyway, it was all dusty and old, and there was all sorts of stuff laying around. So I might have taken a little souvenir. I mean, it wasn't super old or nothing, so I figured no one would miss it. Besides, it wasn't for me. It was for my kid brother. That guy can get deep in the dumps some days. So I try to be on standby for when that happens, you know. So I figured a little gift would cheer him up. And then when he was going through some particularly tough times, his bitch wife, pardon my language, miss, had left him and taken their daughter with her. He still doesn't talk about it, like he's in denial or something. Whoops, got off track. I was heading to visit with the ill-gotten book when I got this phone call saying he was in the hospital. He OD'd on some expensive sake and sleeping pills. Well, most sake is more expensive, but whatever. Thank God that idiot decided to do it at the bar he owns with the door unlocked. The customer came in and called an ambulance. Is this Daiso? If it weren't for that, I'm not sure if he'd still be here. That's quite a story. Sounds like he wanted to be found. Yeah, I think so too. I think he was trying to ask for help in his own way. In any case, I took the book with him to him while he was in the hospital. Hey, you know what? I want to talk about a little bit of real, like, life suicide facts. You know, a lot of people, like, actually, when they try to kill themselves, they actually end up, like, after taking the pills and usually the liquid courage, they actually usually call someone that they either want to get back at or care about. One of the two, sometimes both. But that oftentimes, you know, helps them from a, you know, being alive standpoint. I don't know, I thought that was interesting. Tried to show him that even he was at his lowest. There was someone out there trying to do something nice for him, you know? I think it helped for a minute anyhow. As soon as the doctors let him, he went right back to the toxic little bar. Hope he's okay, but he's my little brother and I worry about him. He's not been answering any of my phone calls. Originally, my brother's bitch ex-wife, sorry again, had the brilliant idea to put his skill to work in a cheap part of town. Despite all that, he's holding on to it with everything he's got. The place is slowly bankrupting, but he won't let go. All he has to do is sign some papers and move on, but he can't. Something about it has the claws sank deep into him. I've been trying to help get him to join me in my business for years. He's a great chef, and we could make a killing. Maybe it's not the same as owning a whole bar, but serving passers-by and getting some sunshine is good for the soul. Plus, the food stands are doing really well abroad, I hear. I think food stands probably aren't like doing super great in like America unless you're in a big metropolitan area, but food trucks have been getting bigger. Much better than wasting my time in Shinjuku at any rate. Shinjuku? Yeah, it's Daiso, we all know it. Yeah, slimy little side street. Anyway, if that book is important to you, he's probably some guy at his place. You want the address? Wait, I knew you looked familiar. Your brother's Daiso, right? See, this is like... I don't mind, like, our main character being a little bit dumber than us. It's when your main character's a lot dumber than you are. You know him. Small world. It was probably the smile on my face that threw you off. Oh, wow. Tell him his little brother Haruto says hi. And tell him that his older brother Naruto says hi. Believe it. I'm kidding. While you're at it, tell him that takoyaki stands are still the future of cuisine, and to get his butt over here. I'll do that. Thanks for all your help. No, let's not. Out in the octopus right now. Maybe on the return trip. Alright, Shinjuku is the only area we can go to. Let's check up on the hostess before we talk to Daiso. Let's go talk to... Nope, we cannot talk to our hostess friend. Alright, let's go in. Come on, Daiso, let me talk to you. Hi, Yami. How can I help you today? Hey, Daiso, how are things? Oh, you know, same old, same old. Funny thing, I met your brother while I was in Asakusa today. Haruto? Damn, he looks a lot older than Haruto. You met Haruto? What are the chances? I don't actually know the answer to that, but since, like, Japan doesn't have a lot of, like, siblings, and also the fact that Tokyo is, like, a hugely populated city, very low. Most people are, like... Japan actually has, I think, a falling population, which is bad in certain ways. Honestly, it's bad in a lot of ways, I think, but that's Japan's problem. Who knows? It was pretty random. Huh, who'd have thought? So is he still selling takoyaki at his stand? Did he say anything? He is. He said to remind you takoyaki stands are the future of cuisine, and that you should go and help him. Yeah, you talked to Haruto, alright. Always the optimist, that guy. I actually have a favor to ask you. Do you still have the book your brother gave you a few months ago? The only thing that guy gives me is headaches. Not sure if I can help you, Ayami. He said he gave it to you when you were in the hospital. Oh, what makes you think I was in the hospital? I don't even go into the hospital for checkups. Besides, that dolt's bringing up stuff all the time. Always trying to drag me kicking and screaming to where the grass is greener. This would have been more recently. After a rough patch. Maybe it was stupid to come and ask. Oh, no, it's fine. That idiot. Always running his mouth. Friggin' traitor. Those were just some hard times. Nothing serious, huh? Just drink too much is all. I'm sorry, Detective. I don't want to talk about it. Alright. Understood. I'm not here to dig up bad memories, Daiso. Thanks. You said you were looking for a book, right? Truth is, I don't remember a book. I do remember Haruto giving me an old magazine, though, back in the hospital. It was one of the ones I used to read when I was younger, when things weren't quite so complicated. Wait there a second. It may have it in a storeroom still. Dang it. Sorry, Ayami. Hold on a sec. Amazing how much junk accumulates over the years. Maybe I should throw some of this old stuff out there. Yeah, here it is. It's yours, Detective. Oh, shit. Hello, little Reina. Huh, hey. No wonder I recognized that photo when you brought by. Same girl, an idol named Ruby. Reina. No, Ruby. See how I said ooh and then B? That don't have anything in common with Reina. No Ruby, see? It says so right here on the cover. Pretty crazy that it was still in my shop, because that means you're still looking for... Well, wonder why we keep running into each other. Yeah, weird luck, I guess. I don't buy it. You're a hell of a detective. You must have a pretty sharp nose. It's not that sharp. I'd say that the angle is more of an obtuse, which, you know, usually gives it a less sharp look to your face. If you say so, Daiso. Mind if I take this? Like I said, it's yours. About the time I started getting rid of some of my old junk. Thank you. See you around, Ayami. Take care, Daiso. I do hope Daiso takes care. I wonder if that kid's still on this street, and if I can go visit him. Yeah, I don't know what that combination is. Wait, is this a different color of tape? Also, it won't let me look. Enter. Alright, Shinjaku's not here. Look. Forensics. Okay. I don't think there's anything new. I don't know the code for that door still. Let's leave Shinjuku. Let's go to Asakusa. And then let's end the episode. Next time we're going to talk to the historian, and among other things, we're also going to try to find out a little bit more about this mask. So remember, guys, stay safe. Call your loved ones if ever you're, being in a real not safe space. They care about you more than you think they do. And have fun. You know what? I'm going to say the one that calling your loved ones is the most important one of all of those. So do that one. That one's most important. Tell your mom you love her. Bye.